Welcome to RoCo Radio Episode 4. Today we're going to be talking about Ranked, the limited time Halloween event, and much more. It turns out, guys, that I was right. That's not coming out this week. Ranked did not come out. It's Wednesday. It's when they do the updates. Do you guys think? Are you guys going to jump on board with my 28th, or are you guys sticking with November?
November, yeah. I think for it to be in October, I feel like the limited time mode would have to be out today, and it's not. So I think it's coming next Wednesday, which leads me to believe that Ranked's not coming until November. That's my thought.
I don't know, man. It's next release. They said it's next release. I mean, there's no way that we're not getting this event next week unless they do a hot patch or hot fix or whatever, like this weekend or something. Like, I think it's weird. I do think it's weird that I guess they're only going to have this event open for a week, or maybe they'll have it roll into November. But I think it's got to be somewhere near there. You know what I mean? So November maybe, but I think 1 week without a patch or something like that. I don't know. I've seen a couple rogue partners mention that next week we're getting ranked as well. So I don't know if they know more. To be completely honest, I have no idea if they actually know more. But nonetheless, I think the 28th sounds right to me. But I'm putting it out there, Rucker, I hope you're right. I hope that ranked comes in November. I hope next week I can just pour a bunch of time into the fun event, have some fun, play, get more ranked ready, and then, when nothing else is going on, ranked comes out and we just, play ranked. And then hopefully maybe a week or two after that, honestly, even in December, we get we get the game actually launches, which I don't know if the game is going to launch because we still have the battle pass, and then we still have that's it. I mean, we have equipment mastery too, so we still have the battle pass, equipment mastery, and rank. So who knows?
I'm really happy it didn't come out this week. I was really worried. I should probably get this out. I forgot to say this in the introduction. I'm on vacation right now, guys. So I'm in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach. I'm kind of cooped up. That's why my background's a lot different. I found a little place in the cabin to privately record. So that's I haven't been streaming. I haven't been playing. Trust me, I've been dying to get back and play. But I'm really happy Rank didn't come out this week. I was going to be really bummed that I was going to have to miss out on that. So, I can see both sides. I mean, I want Ranked as soon as possible while being home.
Right.
So I do want it to come out next week. I am starting to feel, even though I was right about it not coming out this week, I am starting to get that feeling in my gut. It's too early for it to come out next week. I still hope it might, and I understand what you're saying, Chain, that you just would like it to just be the Halloween event. That way, not a bunch of people are pouring into Ranked, and then no one's playing the event and giving it appreciation. So yeah. I might be wrong. It might be in November. Either way, we're either getting Ranked and a Halloween event or a Halloween event and then Ranked. So we'll
happy either way.
A lot of content coming.
Yeah, it'll be good either way.
So one big thing, I actually saw this yesterday, I believe. They're buffing Headstrong. We just talked about this perk a bunch about how people are sleeping on it. I would hope people aren't going to be sleeping on it anymore because I don't know that it needs a buff. I'm not totally positive, but I'll try it out. I'm totally down to experiment with it. Before, you got 125 health, so you got an extra 25 health added on once you got the perk. It was a 10k perk, so it's an expensive one. And before, if you lost that 25, it didn't regen. Like if you went down to 111, you just stay there. And then once you got under 100, it would go back to up to 100 as normal. So the buff is they're going to make it to where it does go back up. So you can get hit at 125 health, pull back, and get 125 health back in and push that fight against someone that probably has only 100 and win the gunfight. I think it might be OP. I don't know about you guys, but I never felt weak with it, and I wasn't bothered that it didn't regen. But, I mean, if it comes through and it works fine and no one thinks it's OP and it just helps players that have it be able to use it in more fights, I'm all in because one of my mains uses it all the time. So
yeah, I like it, and I think it actually needed this kind of buff because it's already really, really good. But I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, the only duelist that has this is Scorch, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then everybody else is either intel or breacher, or support,
defense.
Right? And the problem with that is now, like Scorch, if she has it, she's going to be in that initial gunfight first, so there's no problem to get repaired. She's probably going to be taking fire when she gets into her engagement. As far as like Dallas or like a Saint, they can just get shot a couple times on a cross or something random, and then it's gone forever. And that's where I feel like the problem is, because all these rogues that have headstrong are not meant for pushing and getting those one-on-one engagements like Scorches or like a Chak. So I think the reason to do this is because those, support and defensive players will actually be able to utilize this perk, where probably in the past they weren't able to. And then another point, I think how it is now is fine if it's a 4K perk, but it's 10K. That's a lot of money. So I think that it should be buffed to this. I think this will be a good change to the game for Dallas and Saint especially.
Yeah, this is weird. When I heard it, I was I think the most important line that Scott mentions when he talks about headstrong, he says before you even get into your like first real battle, your first real encounter, right? Because I think what happens is you get 125 health off the bat. You're running up to get to a specific, point so you can like third peek and look around, and maybe you get tapped a little bit and you're like, oh crap, and you back up. That you, unfortunately, the 10K you spent on that small amount of health, which would help you in a 1v1, it no longer helps you anymore. It's gone. If you got tapped in the beginning, which is probably happening a lot more at really high levels, it doesn't happen too much in games that I play. I think a lot of people like mess up their positioning and they'll push out a little too far and they'll just get killed like immediately. But if you're really, really good, you're only gonna get shot once and you're gonna go right back, and automatically that 10K perk just got it's completely worthless, right? So I'm hoping that this is gonna. I think this is gonna be good. But the question is, like, what is this? Does that mean is it just gonna heal like everything else? Like, is it just gonna come back and heal over time like everything else? Because that will help something like you said, like a for example, Saint. It will work really well with Saint because Saint has what is that? Bounce back. He has bounce back. So if he like shoots somebody, gets a couple tags in, but doesn't, commit, it's fine. He can back out. He can bounce back. He'll get his health to come back faster, and it'll get headstrong, and headstrong will come back. My thing is that I'm wondering if this game is going to become more similar to a game like Paladins or Overwatch. In Paladins and Overwatch, you have health, you have shields, and you have armor. They're all different. They are all different. Paladins, which is a game that is made by Hi-Rez, and there are a lot of similarities here. There are a lot of similarities, like more than you guys know, trust me. And so there's the same thing where armor works differently than health. Shields work differently than health. And so I wonder here where we read Headstrong says gain additional 25 armor, and it is armor. We've seen that when you shoot somebody with armor, it says 20, you do a little tick damage and it says like 25 or whatever it says, and it's blue. Right. And so we know that it's different. So are shields going to work differently, or is armor going to work differently, or is Headstrong not going to say gain an additional 25 health? So this is a really big deal. I was surprised. But I believe in I have never been led astray by these guys yet. They haven't made a decision where I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like this, to me, my assumption is that high level play, people get really pissed off or they don't use Headstrong because the second they get shot once by a really strong DMR or even just an assault rifle, the Headstrong buff is gone. And the whole game, they never have it again. So what do you guys think? How is this going to come back? Do you think it's going to be like Life Drain? Like when you get it down, it comes back? Like, is there going to be a reward system? Or do you think it's just going to come right back?
Yeah, so to kind of answer your question, I don't think it's going to be like health because he specifically stated that it's going to be repaired.
Repairable. Yep.
Yeah, it has to be repairable. So that to me just, screams out, okay, it's not going to be health because health is just a regen. So this is repairable. I don't know how you're going to do this, though. I'm thinking maybe your teammates can repair it for you. Kind of like a revive. You run up to your teammate, you patch them up for a couple seconds, they got their 25 back for the repair. But I'm not sure else how you would do it besides having your teammates do it, or like you said, having a reward system where if you hit them for 25, you'll get it back or something like that.
Yeah.
What do you think, Steve?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know who repairs health in the game.
Nobody.
Nobody.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking maybe this is something that'll be added where, like, if you're running Dallas, you have headstrong, and you get ticked to like you're at 100. I can run over to you as any rogue, and kind of do a revive, but instead of it saying revive, it says repair, and I repair your armor for you. I don't
know. I feel like you guys might be. I mean, that'd be cool, but I feel like you guys might be looking too hard into that. I feel like they'd already have a system in place before they just dropped randomly that you repair. I think it's just going to regen. I think he just used a different word.
So you think repair means regen just for
yeah,
armor?
I feel like he would have clarified on a new regen system or a new perk or a new rogue or something. But there's no health pack sitting around on the map. And like Sean just said, there's no one can walk up to each other and repair.
But why wouldn't he just say that your armor will now be regenerated? Like he said repaired. So that I hope it is, because I don't think they should just add a brand new mechanic to the game. So I hope that's what it's gonna be. However, just the way he worded it, it's kind of throwing me off.
Yeah, I don't think he would drop that and not explain what repairing is. I just don't see that. I think he just used the weird verbiage. I was looking through the reactions of everyone in the comments and everything, and everyone's freaking out about it. I don't think people would be as scared if it was just something you could repair in the sense you guys are talking. I think people are seeing it as a regeneration of the health. Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, yeah, we will definitely see soon.
But dude, I just want it to be like this perk just got so much better. Like this is actually it's gonna be extremely good now, because now when like Dallas is in a 1v1 against somebody, he's usually by that time he's lost his 25. Now he's gonna have it. Every rogue is gonna have an advantage in a 1v1 situation now with that, regardless of if it's getting first blood or you're in a clutch situation. And let's just explain again that this is another Scorch buff.
Dude, I've been playing Scorch recently because of all these buffs that she has, and so I was like, first of all, grenades are great, pushing up is great, even when I'm playing pistol round, it's great, everything feels much better. And I was like, dude, and headstrong, I actually think she's going to benefit more, not more than others. I think what's cool, I can actually read the list for you guys. The characters that have headstrong: Anvil, Dallas, Glitch, Saint, Scorch, and Trench. So that's 6 characters. Now, looking at things that kind of go with that is like bounce back, right? Bounce back, it reduces your health regeneration delay. Now, to be fair, it doesn't say armor. So we don't know if bounce back is going to help your armor or not. But let's say that it does. Then the people that have bounce back that also have this, right? It's going to be Glitch, Saint, and Trench. So again, like this is a pretty good, these are good synergies here, right? If you actually get it down, right? Or, well, you don't even have to get it down for bounce back. For bounce back, you can just stay out of, fire, especially for a lot of these defense characters or like Saint, a support character, that'll go really well. But then there's also life drain. Life drain, downing an enemy heals you significantly. Now we don't know, is heal like part of armor, right? We don't know that, but just to say the people that also have life drain is Anvil, which, dude, Anvil, he's going to be in a really, I think he's getting some buffs here. He's getting a little buff here. We saw him get nerfed. We're seeing him get a little buff here. Anvil has it, and I actually think he's the only one. So Anvil will be the only one with life drain and headstrong. But honestly, we don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens here. But I'm excited to see this perk change. And I'm also terrified at the same time. I don't really play a lot of characters that have headstrong. Besides Trench, I actually play a lot of Trench now, and Scorch. So we'll see.
Now, for all the rogues you listed that have headstrong, was Scorch the only duelist?
Yep. Yeah. Just like Rucker mentioned in the beginning, the only duelist that's actually going to have this is Scorch. The majority of them are actually going to be, well, I wouldn't say the majority, but Trench and Anvil are defense characters, and then you have Saint, who is a support character. Dallas, which is an interesting choice, but I think it makes sense. He's an intel character, but he's a long-range intel character. He's not like Talon. So Talon doesn't get this. He gets like a long, so his engagements, his engagements are a lot more long range. Sure, you can push, but instead you can technically shoot and then wait, and you've just got a headstrong, it'll come back maybe. And then Glitch is the surprising one, because Glitch is kind of out of nowhere. Glitch is this random breacher who apparently
got replaced with the Sixth Sense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He literally got a new perk, and then the next update, they're buffing that perk.
Yeah. So he's interesting. Glitch is an interesting one.
Yeah. So other than Scorch, it sounds like they might be trying to give a little buff to all the support intel breacher characters. With
defense for sure.
Defense too. Sure. Yeah, for sure. Defense. And like you said, it would be a dream if I could play intel with Dallas and hang back and then just go against the wall and get 125 again and then peek back out. I mean, that would be pretty insane.
Trench was already S tier, in my opinion. At high level play, Trench is already S tier.
Yes.
And now he's like, now his Trench, that rogue is like solidified to be like probably the, in my opinion, like the best like must have on your team in every single competitive match or ranked or any match, like anything. Because now, especially with this combo with Dahlia, like that's just incredible.
Such a good combo.
Yeah, such a good combo. You guys are gonna see that they were already being run a lot in all these tournament stuff, and now they're gonna be every single one. You're gonna eat on attack and defense. You're gonna have them both.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah. So I mean, again, why does Scorch have headstrong? But I'm happy for all. I think all the other rogues do. Well, not Anvil, but Anvil did get a slight nerf, so he's getting gifts to repair him there. But Scorch needs to chill out, really. But you guys want to talk about? I haven't got to play since Friday, but you guys want to talk about how the game's been since the dock update?
Sure. I can start. I love this game. It's a blast. I did actually mention on my own channel, youtube.com/Chaingear Gaming, that my newest video, I was mentioning that I definitely play quite a bit, but I am ready for ranked. I am ready. The flip-flopping of like, good matches, bad matches. Like I'm over not having skill-based matchmaking. Not to say that I want it in the casual lobbies, but I'd like to just have skill-based matchmaking in ranked so I can just play with people around my skill level, whether it be randoms or whether it be the people I'm playing against. But yeah, I mean, it's been good. I definitely noticed the difference in grenades. I would say that is the biggest thing. Scorch, I have noticed a difference in because of all the changes there. But the grenades, I have noticed by a ton, especially the Molotovs or the incendiary grenades, but all of the grenades. I'm throwing them. I'm hoping they're going to hit around a corner, and they don't. I always buy level 2 now because I've got to have that bigger explosion. I have to. It's particularly for hitting people behind corners, which now is much easier. Actually, I was doing a 2v2 with my team today, and my friend was playing Scorch, and my other friend was playing Dallas. And that duo is nuts. Dallas has the long range. He can throw down a Molotov, and then Scorch can push up. She can throw down a Molotov, and it's not. I can't get away. I'm like, dude, they're pushing me out so far, and it's like it is such a great combo. And I didn't think about it as much before Rucker had said it, but Rucker said in the last episode he said, I use the Molotovs for information. And I have definitely started using that. And they spread so far that, I can really tell where somebody is. Like, I'll throw it at a corner, and it might not hit where that normal radius is, but because it spread so far out, it's hitting the person, like, on the other side. And I'm like, oh, okay, guess there's somebody over there. I'll call it out. They know. So I personally have been loving the changes. It's definitely more skill-based. But I haven't noticed, a massive change where I'm like, dude, this game sucks. There's still some bugs. I gotta say, there was a hot fix that was supposed to fix the warping when you're using high rate of fire weapons. Another thing that I mentioned in my most recent video. But when you shoot with a high rate of fire weapon, SMGs obviously, sometimes you teleport. That does not seem to have been fixed. So that's one thing. But outside of that, I've been really loving the changes.
Yeah, I'll kind of touch on that too. Basically, everything you said there I agree with. The incendiaries are incredible. Everybody's probably noticing that, especially for gathering information. If you got a Scorch, bravo. You're probably going to win that round if there's somebody there. Because they're going to get ticked a couple times, and then she's there.
Sure.
Run right through it. Grenades, I've definitely noticed. I've been able to get out of a lot of situations when nades have been thrown at me, where prior to that I was, getting naded and going down. And like you said, I am upgrading them all the way, whereas usually I wouldn't even do that extra one because they were so good. Now you got to really do it just to get some damage on them. So I agree with you there as well. I did want to mention, what was I going to say?
Was it about a rogue? Was it about a perk? Because there are a lot of changes.
Oh, yes. Thank you. So none of those. It was about SMGs. I still do not think that they are where they need to be. I still think ARs and assault rifles and DMRs are better, hands down, even up close. They're just so much better. And I've played a lot of SMG. Like that's any games I play, guys. I like fast pace. I like run and gun. I like to be in their face. That's what the SMG is. I'm still getting bodied by these DMRs and ARs up close. It happens and I'm hitting headshots, but they're hitting them too, and they're the damage is just incredible on those things. So either there needs to be a nerf that comes to those, or SMGs need another damage buff or something, because I'm still struggling with that. That's just my thoughts on it. It might be, I might be in my own little lane here, but that's what I think. And now, because I play a lot of Talon, I don't buy the sub anymore. I buy the DMR. It's a lot better. So
yeah. Well, yeah, what I gotta say that is win, get good. But I think that they're actually in their place now. I don't think there should be a SMG buff, just because, Sean. Yes, I still body people with the AR up close, but I do think most of the time, if you hit your shots with SMG up close, you do win. I mean, I know you play SMG more than me. I play like half the time. You probably play all the time SMG, but at the same time, most of the ARs go to rogues that are more support or intel or breacher, and
I mean, even Ronin has an AR.
Even Ronin has an AR. So I feel like in a weird way, ARs should stay slightly on top, just because most of the characters, other than
not in
Ronin,
point blank situations though, and that's the problem. I'm not talking about fights I'm losing mid range or long range. Those ones are, I should definitely be losing long range. Mid range, I should be losing, most of them, I feel like, but not all of them. But up close, if I'm right in their face, like, I should be winning that.
How often are you losing those fights though, and are you sure that you're hitting all your shots?
I mean, obviously I'm better than a lot of people, so I'm winning most of them, right?
Okay, sorry. Yeah, my bad.
But if you have me against me, right? If you have me against me, and I'm playing Talon and I got the sub, and then I'm going up against me who's playing Talon with the DMR, the DMR is going to win every time. I mean, I don't know if you guys have been watching these competitive matches, everybody's running AR. Everybody. Like, it's meta. Like, they're just so much better. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I do run AR almost all the time on Ronin. I only use her sub if it's a map that's almost always close quarters. Other than maps like that, 80% of the time I'm running her AR.
I have a question for you guys. So I'm gonna put two different things. Well, three things. First one is just real quick. This is why I want ranked so bad.
Yeah,
we could talk all day long, but until we know that Rucker is rogue, and until we know that Steve is bronze, then how are we ever gonna know? No, just kidding.
Like that.
I'm just joking. But we don't really know. We don't know. We're talking all here. We might all be gold. You know what I mean? And we're all talking amongst ourselves like, oh, dude, like ARs are great. And then you see at the top level that everybody's using pistols the whole time. You know what I mean? So like that's number one. So obviously all this conversation is a bit of speculation, but it is a good point though. I think it's interesting to see that we have two different things. The second thing that I got to say, I got to bring a little data in here. You guys know my man Radthar. Radthar is the one.
Bring it.
Radthar's got the stats, and let me bring them all up. The first one I got to mention is the DMR, because the DMR you mentioned, I don't know if this was an accident or not, Rucker, but you said people with DMRs are beating you. That should not be happening.
Really?
The lowest TTK for a DMR, is a 0.72 or 720 milliseconds. So that should not be happening. If you're getting
Rucker exposed, dude, Rucker's bronze.
And now I know you're saying bodied, and I assume you mean literally just dying. But obviously when I hear bodied, I think body shots. Body shot TTK. Now that does change things. But if we're talking about the fastest, you did mention headshots. And one of the things that you mentioned was the SMG versus SMGs overall versus assault rifles. And again, if we look at this, and a reminder, the TTKs on these things have not changed. The range on these things have changed. The speed at which you can move with an SMG has changed, but the actual TTKs on these, none of them have changed. They have changed at range, but that's not what we're talking about. So the SMGs, the lowest is a 404 milliseconds, 0.4, 0.4 basically. The highest is at the fastest. Sorry, so the highest fastest kill, meaning so like the worst SMG basically in terms of speed to kill, is a 0.45, so 458 milliseconds. Now we look at assault rifles, it's nowhere. I mean, one of them is near it, and it's the Maul, which is not an assault rifle, right?
And the Maul is that.
Yes, I have heard that. So which means that the HRM is at 491. And the HRM 30KS, I don't know who owns that. I want to say that might be Trenches, or no, that might be Dallas's. I'm not 100% sure though.
Dallas, and then Ronin and Dima have the other HRM.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't know. I always get them mixed up.
Oh, that's the KA30. The KA30.
Yeah.
Then there's the Nightshade, which I heard is getting a buff as well, but the Nightshade is at 490. So numbers wise, in terms of the fastest TTK, if you were hitting all headshots, you would never lose a match as long as you were in close range. But here's where I think you're losing. The reason I think you're losing these, which makes sense, is the body shot TTKs, they start to get a little bit different. If a auto rifle hits you, assault rifle, if an assault rifle hits you once in the head and then in the body, it starts to really mess up the numbers because it's actually pretty fast. It's still not as fast as SMGs, but some of them start to get into the range. So for example, when we're looking at SMGs, the HRM 24S, that one takes 1,080 milliseconds. That is longer than every single assault rifle in the game for body shots. And so I think that body shot might be where you're missing. So you might get a couple headshots, but for an SMG, the multiplier isn't that high. So I think that might be where you're having an issue is the consistency. So I could actually see maybe a buff to SMGs, maybe one more, where the headshot multiplier is better in the closer ranges. Meaning that when you're in the optimal range, 5 to 10 meters, and you get headshots, you're melting people. But outside of that range, assault rifles have clean range here. But I don't know if body shot damage needs to necessarily change. Those are the numbers there for you. And I need to maybe screenshot some of these. He's got so much good information, but you have to dig through these YouTube videos. But that's not to take away from what your experience has been, but just to say, I think that's probably where we're seeing these issues is body shot TTK.
Now, who owns the HRM 24S?
I want to say the HRM 24S is Lancer maybe, but I can.
Does it have HRM in front of it? I've never noticed that. I thought it was the 24S all this time.
I can check.
Okay,
I can check.
I might be wrong. I never noticed that. Okay, so Lancer has the longest AR. I didn't even know Lancer had an AR.
She doesn't.
No. The 24S is an SMG.
Oh, you said HRM 24S. I didn't know what that was. You said that was the longest.
Sorry. Yeah. The HRM 24S is the longest SMG TTK.
Oh,
which is longer than all assault rifle body TTK. The fastest assault rifle TTK for all body shots is 9:15. Major difference. One takes a second and more, a little over a second, right? And the other one doesn't take a second. It's literally a millisecond, not a millisecond, 100 millisecond difference, which is a big deal. And if you got one headshot, if the AR got one headshot in there, it drastically drops it down.
Yeah, that's probably what happened. It was probably body shots on a bad day for me. Yeah. This was 2 days ago when I was playing, and this was happening to me, and I was getting furious because I shouldn't be losing. So yeah, I agree with the with the headshot. I went ahead and
looked it up, by the way.
The headshot buff up close. I think that would be nice because I'll get one or two in there, but if I get a body like that with the with speeds that you just mentioned, a lot of ARs are going to take me out.
Yeah.
I am seeing it's 24S. I do see it on the side of the gun though. It does say H. It looks like H. Then there's a symbol and then RM. I don't know if that's
HRM is probably just the brand.
It must be
gun.
the brand. It doesn't say it in game though, so that's why I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I don't know why it says. It's just what Radthar put down. So maybe he just
he probably knows his stuff.
Yeah.
But speaking of Lancer, real quick, actually, I have. Yeah, no, we'll start with Lancer. Speaking of Lancer, okay, what's going on with the shotgun deal? All right, I'm having these Lancers running around, shooting me with these Nerf pellets, and just dropping me so quick.
They're shotguns, man. Shotguns
insane.
High risk, high reward for a shotgun. I think personally.
Listen, that thing just needs to shoot a little slower. I think.
I don't know.
With her silent step, she can get up behind you so easily, which I know that's why they gave it to her. But she can get up behind you close enough for shotgun range without you knowing she's there. And once you know she's there, I can't even get a bullet off on her before I'm dead.
But that's supposed to be the case, right? And Rucker, I'd love to know what you think. But you have to have anti-flank measures, right? So even she's a duelist, so she's supposed to win that first engagement. So if you're the one that's dying, Steve.
Well, I'm seeing
that's
her
on you.
win 3 people, all right? It's not just one engagement.
So if she's 1v3ing, that means that the team either isn't ready for flanks or has bad callouts, right? If I'm the first one to drop, if I'm a saint and I'm in the back, and all of a sudden I get called up on. Yeah, and I think that's usually where you have an issue. If it's you, me, Rucker, and then we have a third, right? Lamberta Designs, and we're out here killing things, whatever, and you get dropped, and which makes sense because you'd be in the back, right? Because you have long range, you've got the new headstrong buff, and you're sitting there with Dallas, and you're like, oh crap, guys, I just got flanked. It's a Lancer, she's got a shotgun. Like we're all gonna be like, oh crap, okay, turn around, get ready, and then maybe Rucker's playing Talon. Well, that's where he throws the dart in the back, and then we know that she's coming through. She can't be revealed. But no. I don't believe that means that she can't be seen on the mini map, if I remember correctly.
She'll pop up on the dart.
Yeah, so we would see her come through in the dart. We'd know if there's a saint, he could drop something back there. There's a couple ways to kind of get around that. But I mean, it's the same thing when you say like when someone's cloaked and they get back there somehow and they throw a knife, they throw their katana at you. I mean, it's supposed to be able to be done that way. I personally think that the shotguns are in a very good spot. I've seen people dominate with shotguns, but it's hard. You've got to be good. You miss one shotgun, your shotgun blast, you are bust. It's over, especially for Chak. Chak has the ability to one hit easily. Like he does 88 body damage. He gets like 1 or 2 pellets on you in the head, you're done. But if he completely misses, I mean, you're screwed.
I was going to say that I feel like the people that benefit the most with a shotgun are Lancer for what I just said. Chalk, especially now that he can keep his health up that long, he could come at you like the Hulk, and you could be spraying into him, and he can still get close enough before dying and pop you in the head, and you're dead.
Yep. That thing's like a slug.
Lancer's got the worst. First of all, Lancer's got the worst shotgun. So she's been point blank on me numerous times, and I've destroyed her with a sub.
No, it's more that she can get up behind you without you knowing, and then kill you before you even turn around.
Listen, and I guarantee that if she had her sub, the same result would happen.
Nah, remember, because AR is better. Anyway, so and then what I was gonna say was, so Chalk Lancer and then Anvil, I feel like is still really good with his because he can hide behind that shield, and as soon as you try to walk around him, he could just peek out the shield and pop you real quick. I feel like those are the 3 rogues.
I don't understand Anvils that have shotguns. I'll never understand. Dude, there are so many times that Anvil pushed me with a shotgun. I'm like, are you an idiot? You have the best weapon in the game for the most part. Yeah. You can literally shoot. Dude, it's the funniest thing. It doesn't matter who you're playing. You pick up that weapon and you just shoot and you walk around anywhere. Who cares where? Yep. The anvil drops the shield. You kill the anvil. You pick it up. Somebody else behind the shield. You shoot and walk into the shield. Dude.
Yeah. Nothing. Anytime we play against the anvil, I try to get it as my secondary at least.
Yeah. Shotgun.
The shotgun's only good on Anvil, like I said, when he's using his shield properly. Yeah. And if he actually wants to anchor on site, which based on the nerfs they gave him from the last update, they want him to be more of an anchor player. Yeah, if you anchor on site and use that shield and like shoulder peek out the shield when they're getting close to site, then it could be worth it. But still, the LMG would be better. I feel like in most cases.
If he had a shotgun, I mean, good teams are just going to utility dump, and he's going to have to leave the area, and then we just plant bomb.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about something you said a while earlier. I didn't get my word in on it, but Scorch and Dallas. I never thought of that. That's a really great idea, especially because Scorch has Incinerary as well, right? She has Molotov, so one could use one, and then the other can use one, and then now she has 2 times during one round where she's running.
Nuts.
Yeah.
It's
so what I was gonna say was that's actually the character, funny enough, that I wanted my girlfriend to main. She doesn't really play regularly. We play sometimes for fun. She doesn't want to play like we do, where we get real into it. But maybe because she knows how I am when I get into it. But I thought that was pretty cool, especially with the rumor that there's going to be a Wingman 2v2 or 3v3.
Yeah.
Sean, if you don't mind pulling up the leaked images of the maps and the descriptions on the Red TV, just so you guys know, since I'm on vacation, Sean has the RoCo Radio Red TV remote for all our YouTube audience.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so this was leaked a while back. This was back in July? Was it July or June?
So a long time ago. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, it was leaked a long time ago, but no one's really talked about it since. But I'm pretty sure it's confirmed they are in the files. They just never got used, and people don't know if they're scrapped or if they're coming. Right?
Yep. Yeah, they were data mined, but nobody knows anything besides that.
Yeah, people were speculating when they released the Rogue Company IRL video that might have been alluding to the 2v2s, which it totally could have been. But since it's been so long and they still haven't talked about it, I'm thinking that was just more for fun. I don't think that was leaning towards. I don't know. Maybe it was.
I do think, just a quick pause on that. Yeah. I do think that we're gonna get a 2v2 game mode as a limited time mode.
Okay.
I do not think that we're going to get it. It is possible we'll get it in the long run. I think there are a couple things, and in the next podcast we'll probably get to some of these other things. There are a lot of unused, pieces of data in these games. Apex is a really great example. Apex has had a PvE leak, which we'll talk about PvE at some point. Yeah, but Apex has had a PvE leak for like a year now. And a lot of people are saying, well, it came from Titanfall. So it's highly possible that there's just a lot of information in there for PvE. And a lot of games don't want to get rid of that content because they're going to want to compete against a game like Rainbow Six Siege. If you guys don't know, Rainbow Six is having a PvE version of their game. I believe that's coming out next year. And they want to dominate both the PvP and PvE side. And so I wouldn't be surprised if you see these games like Rogue Company. We've seen Overwatch dabble into it. Paladins never really did it. They have bots, so I think that's usually kind of what they do. But outside of that, I could definitely see, Rogue Company, these leaks, which by the way, we're getting from RoCo Leaks at RoCo Leaks on Twitter. This mode, this Wingman 2v2, maybe 3v3 game mode. Even if it's been data leaked, we know that it exists in some way. But I think it would be really cool to see it, in a way that like maybe is a limited time mode. Because I would be scared to start putting even more modes in this early in the game before ranks even out. But maybe. Sorry, I know I kind of went on a tangent.
No, you're good.
Go over the leak.
Yeah.
Speaking of, shout out to RoCo Leaks, by the way, on Twitter. He is so far I haven't found anyone better. He's like not my number one guy on Leaks with Rogue Company. So that's RoCo LEAKS on Twitter. Go there, follow him. If you guys want to stay up to date on things and hear about the newest news with Rogue Company, at least when it comes to leaks, before we talk about them ourselves, that's the guy to follow. But yeah, with Wingman, I definitely could see it as a limited time event, like you said, Shane. But I can also see it, as another path for tournaments to go down. Maybe not big tournaments, but privatized tournaments that players make. 2v2s can be really fun when it comes to brackets. And, this game's really about being competitive. Call of Duty had Gunfight in their last Call of Duty. I don't know if you played that, but it was a 2v2 mode. And I think Sean, did they eventually make it 3v3 as well?
It was like a limited time mode. Every now and again, they would throw it in for a little bit and take it out.
But 2v2 was permanent.
Yes.
So I do think there is... I think 2v2 could be competitive enough to where...
Oh, no.
Did we lose him?
Did we lose Steve? Oh, He's back. He's back.
Oh, where'd I get cut off at?
I lost your webcam though. Oh, it's loading.
Nah.
There you go.
What'd that happen at?
You were talking about gunfight 2v2 and how that this could, be an actual like mode in the game, just not an LTM, not only an LTM.
Right. Sorry about that, guys. Like I said, I'm on vacation. Internet is not the same at home. But yeah, I could definitely see it being competitive enough to be in the game permanently. But I could also see it being temporarily, especially with some notes on the maps. I don't know if you guys see it on the TV right now, but some of the maps say things like, "Oh, this is a rooftop map. All players must stay on the rooftops and not touch the ground. If they touch, it's like a floor is lava. If you touch the ground, you die."
I can jump through all those right now. I have them all.
Okay, yeah, run through those real quick.
Yeah. So, first of all, let me just touch on a point that you guys made. I hope that this isn't just an LTM. I think 2v2s are really, really fun, and it honestly runs really smooth. And like you said, there's so many duos that would just make this mode really competitive. Like you said, the Dallas Scorch duo, and then you got the Dahlia Trench duo. Like, there's a lot of duos out here that would be really fun to play in 2v2. I think it'll come as a limited time mode at least, but I hope it's here to stay. But so I got, again, these are from RoCo leaks. This first one you guys are seeing, it's an unfinished map. I'm not sure really what to take from it. Just says unfinished. Most likely it would be a Wingman version of Windward. That's one of the maps in the game right now. So not really much in this screenshot to really tell what this could be. Here's the rooftops one that Steve was talking about. And like he said, you'll be walking on the roofs, and if you land on the floor, you will die. A really unique map. So I think that's a cool concept. That would be pretty fun. And then we got District here. Nothing much on this. It kind of reminds me of Slums from Black Ops 2. I don't know if you guys have played it, but it has that fountain in the middle and those little cuts over there. So it kind of reminds me of that. I like the look of that map, to be honest. Yeah, I like the look of it too. It looks like a really fun map. And then last we have Depot. So this kind of looks like Canals a little bit.
Yeah.
So probably just maybe a station.
I was going to say that rooftop map looked a little bit like Icarus.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
Yeah.
Real quick, I just wanted to mention. So I believe because I'm a Paladin player, I did get the alpha, the private alpha for Rogue Company. I've played on Depot. I have played on this map.
Really?
So this is something that I've seen, and we couldn't talk about it before. I hope I'm not breaching any NDAs or anything like that. We weren't allowed to talk about Rogue Company at all at the time. But this map is, I mean, it's an OG, and it's a good map. And I don't think it was a 2v2. I do believe that it was 4v4 still. But it is a good 2v2 map. There's only one place you spawn. You spawn right at the bottom. You just go straight in, and what you're seeing there, that's the map. There's nothing else. You just run straight up. You can either go up the right side, up the left side, or straight through the middle, and that's it. There was also a mode. I guess it was like Extraction. Actually, it probably was Extraction. I think it was Extraction, and the bomb was either on right or it was on left, and that would be the play there. But it was a lot of fun. I did want to mention, Steve, you mentioned Wingman mode or 2v2s being possibly being prevalent in the current cycle of tournaments that are out right now. Just for everybody, just so everybody knows, there are no official tournaments, but there are a lot of tournaments going on right now. There's the ones that don't have like any like shoutcasters or anything like that through CMG. There are a lot that are run by Exodus. He runs them, I want to say like daily. This man is running them all the time. You've got a couple other people out here. I think there's Rogue Company Showdown, I believe. There's Rogue Company Fight Club. There's a RoCo Fight Club. So there's a bunch of different groups of these tournaments and things like that. And it's awesome. It's great to see. And Wingman mode has definitely been seen. I've definitely seen Exodus run this before. His tournaments are some of the more popular ones. That's the one, if I remember correctly, that Scott, like, he actually made a video about one time. And it's a very popular tournament. He drops a lot of money on it. Like sometimes like $400 on a tournament, which is definitely more than some of these smaller tournaments that'll do like little small $50 payouts and things like that, which is fair. This is all community run. Community run. But Wingman mode, Wingman mode, $400. That's $200 a person. on a weekend.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind.
That's like half a new console right there, almost. So it's cool. It's a very cool. It's a very cool thing. And I think the more we've talked about it, as long as it didn't take away too much, I think it depends on the population sizes. If the population sizes are around the millions, like they've been saying recently, where they can get up to millions of players, great. If it starts to, slow down and we start to see, an average that doesn't behoove having another game mode, that would be my concern. This is not Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? We can't afford to have 80 modes. This is definitely not Overwatch, which has tons of modes in it. We can't necessarily afford that if the game's not that good yet, but in the sense that people aren't playing it that much. So I think it depends. And I also think that this might be why it never came out. It might not have come out because they're like, we got to wait. Like, we got to make sure that every mode is ranked ready, that every map is ranked ready, that all this stuff is good. And there's definitely a lot of things that have been left out of the game that were in it. Again, we'll talk about this kind of stuff later, but in terms of Wingman mode, I'd like to see it. Whether it's an LTM mode or not, I wouldn't be mad if it was a full-time mode, to be clear. But I definitely want to see it as a limited time mode for sure.
Yeah, I definitely don't see it coming out before ranked at all. I definitely think this might be something that they do really like, and it's just been, they're like, okay, this is cool and all, but we need to get ranked out. Let's start cranking on that. Let's bring all the guys that were working on this Wingman, let's put them on the ranked team, and they just have it on the back burner. Maybe it's like 80% done, 90, maybe even 90% done, and they're getting ranked out, and then this might be what they work on afterwards. Like, okay, ranks out, of course they'll have a team on it constantly to keep it running well and get all the bugs out and everything. But the reason I think this might be, other than it being already proven in other games that 2v2s work competitively, it also would be really good for people that really just have a hard time getting a team. They don't have a lot of friends to play with. And, I know that it'd be great. Like, if I didn't have a team to play with already, it'd be awesome if I could be like, hey, Rucker, or hey, Chain, just me and you, let's get in there 2v2, it's rec. And there's going to be new metas, because two player teams are going to have an entirely different meta than a forward.
Way different.
Entirely. Medics may never get played because usually the other person needs to start fighting when the other person goes down, or, all kinds of, and then Scorch and Dallas would probably be a really good one.
That's so good.
But
they both got headstrong.
Yeah. And I also like that they might be, certain maps for Wingman might have a little, thing to them, like that rooftop one. But that seemed more eventy. If it's just 2v2 with 2v2 maps that are the right size and the right layout for 2v2s, I see that more permanent. A rooftop map only, I don't see that being permanent, because, like, say they did a 2v2 tournament and it's a random map pool, and then most of the maps are normal, and then the final map lands on the rooftop, and then they lose because it's a rooftop map.
I don't think that it's, I don't know if we can bring this back up, but if you look at the rooftop map, it's not you'll see it's not the roofs of the rooftop map. It's actually everything on that map is rooftop. So when they say when you touch it's a little weird to see, but you'll see like all these little bridges because it's bridges across the roofs. It's like it is weird to see, but that's how big it would be. Right?
It's not like a floor is lava. It's like the map's just rooftops.
It's one of those things where, like, when you look down, you might see the floor, but if you actually jump down, you would die. But when you're on the map, you're technically on rooftops.
Never mind then.
That's what I took from it when I read it too, Chain.
Yeah, okay. I mean it's what it said. I mean, the note I think says it itself, which I think.
Now. Yeah, I didn't notice the bridges before.
I'm pretty sure RoCo Leaks wrote that part, so maybe they didn't notice it either. But I think when I'm looking at the map, I mean it looks pretty obvious now that it's all.
That makes a lot more sense. Yeah, I thought it was just like a little funny thing they're doing, like, hey, don't fall off.
Right.
What
was our next topic, Sean? I'm ready for the next topic, I think.
You don't want to talk about 2v2s anymore? How much fun they are?
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just playing. I really do hope that they come. And guys listening, if you guys haven't grabbed, 3 of your friends and jumped in and played 2v2s in this game, it's really fun. I highly recommend it. Especially, if you're getting tired of, the 4v4 modes or whatever, then jump into 2v2s. A little change of pace. It's pretty fun.
That's a really good point, Sean, because I didn't even think about that. Even right now, with just customs where we're just making up 2v2s. They're a blast on maps that aren't meant for 2v2s. So that's another great point on how this could be definitely a permanent mode that people play all the time. So yeah.
Yeah, and then Chain kind of mentioned this right before we got into the Wingman 2v2, but we can get into PvE a little bit. I have some thoughts on it, so I can kind of start here. Again, this is RoCo Leaks. He's got a lot more than the image I put up here. I just put up one because just the others are kind of similar. Somebody data mined and just found these things about AI difficulties, PvE. There's easy, hard, heavy waves. So it kind of looks like there is a PvE.
If you guys want to see a video going over all of this PvE stuff in depth, I have a whole video of it on my YouTube at SteveTheChimp. It was, I don't remember what episode. It was an episode of RoCo Recap. You'll see by the thumbnail and the title. It's something about PvE mode leaked. So if you guys want to watch that video, I go over all the patch notes on it. Or not patch notes, the leaked notes on it.
Yeah, so in my opinion, I've never really been a PvE person, so I'm kind of biased here. I don't really care if this comes or it doesn't come. I think it would be fun. You know, like I play Gears of War and they have the Horde mode, and it would probably run similarly to that. Basically, Horde mode was you group up with your buddies and you would fight off 50 waves of AI enemies, and each wave was harder. And so, I mean, it was fun just for a little change of pace, but I think the main thing for this game, at least for me, and it kind of seems like, you know, with the way Scott's been tweeting about ranked and everything, like competitive is the whole focus right now. I don't know if this will ever come, if this game is going to be invested in competitive. Now, Chain did mention a good point with Rainbow Six having a PvE mode, and maybe they want to, you know, compete with that a little bit. I don't think they really have to. I think this game in ranked can, you know, bring it pretty far. But I guess, you know, what are you guys' opinions? I know I'm biased on it because I don't really care.
Go ahead, Shane.
So I just want to put it out there. One is that it's not that they have to, right? Siege has been out for a long time. It's just that Siege can. That's the thing is, like, you have a game and you're like, we're crushing it. You guys want to try something else? And like the devs there might be like, dude, some dev might have stayed up one night and been like, yo, this is so cool. What if I just added some bots in here and I just started killing them? Because here, I think one of the big things that we have to remember is that, like, when you're making a game, right? There's the developers, there's single developers, there's the lead designer, Scott, and then of course you have the company that runs it, right? And I think like there's always gonna, and then obviously there's the players. One of my favorite games is Destiny 2. I play a bunch of PvP, but I obviously play a lot of PvE. A PvE is the vast majority of what I play because that's the vast majority of the content. I love it, and I think there are a lot of people that love it. And I mentioned this before, is that there are a lot of people that actually will only play these games against bots. There are people, I guarantee you, that there are people right now who are higher levels than all of us only playing bots. And so not giving them something just means you're just missing out on cash. That's all it means, right? So it depends on how much time does it take for them to develop something that's fun, you know, that's there, because PvP will never capture all of the possible players, right? PvE plus PvE can. It literally just can. Doesn't mean that it will, but it can. So that's number one. But I think one of the most important things that Rucker said, Rucker doesn't care. Rucker doesn't care if you know, we get PvE or not. And I think that's important to recognize, that some players just won't care. Me, I would love to see this. I'm a huge Uncharted fan. I played all the Uncharteds, and one of my favorite things to do was play Uncharted PvP and then kick back and play some survival. I absolutely loved it. There's a ton of games that have like survival modes that have objectives in them and things like that. There's a lot of content in here. One of the things that I thought was most interesting was the similarity between the assets for the Jackal faction, right, which you can see in the tweets, but you can also see them in the initial cinematic trailer. So I don't know if you guys all remember this. In the initial cinematic trailer, which was a beautifully done trailer, it had Ronan and it had Dima. Both of them go inside of like a shop. They buy a bunch of weapons. They leave. Actually, they buy like a couple weapons. Then they leave, and then they fight Jackal. Now, we've heard of Jackal a couple of times in the game, mostly because of skins. So if I remember correctly, I believe Vi has one. She has a Jackal skin, but I know that Anvil has a Jackal skin. So they're talking about Jackal, but they never really do anything with Jackal. And one thing that I definitely want to talk about at length one day, we probably don't have time to do it today, but is lore. This game, we don't have a lot of lore for it yet. The bio tabs are all locked. And not a lot of people, not everybody cares about lore, right? Not everybody cares about lore. Not everybody cares about story. Some people just love to go in, play PvP. But for people that do care, there's a lot of content there that I might sink into just a little bit more if I just knew a little bit more about the game. I don't know anything about these characters. I only know that like 1-2 sentence thing that's right below their name. But if I could go into their bio, learn more about that. But we literally saw them fight Jackal. We saw it. Yeah. It was in the cinematic trailer. So I'm wondering, are we ever going to get at least a limited time mode like Overwatch did? I think it's safer for them to go and make limited time modes for all of this stuff, right? The game is small. Their streamers, their top streamers, they're small. They're not huge. They don't have thousands of viewers. They have 45 viewers. They have 600 viewers, maybe. Like a lot of the time when Scott talks about, one of the big streamers that are playing these games, they're not huge. They're like, small, medium-sized streamers. And so I think it probably makes more sense. Don't push out a PvE game mode to just have it. Have a limited time event. Let it run. See if people like it. If it works, bring it back. The Apex did the same. Totally muted myself.
Yeah,
totally muted myself. Apex has done it. Overwatch has done it. Do a limited time mode. Try the game mode out. See if people like it, and if they like it, then go ahead and bring it into the game. That's my.
I agree. I mean, there's definitely a market for it. I've seen time and time again on Reddit with the dev questions and just with the Rogue Company Reddit itself. There's a lot of people. Like I can't even count them on my hands and toes about the comments I've seen. Is there PvE? Is there PvE? Oh, I'm not playing it. I'm not playing this PvE. And here's also what happens if you add a PvE mode. Yeah, you have those people that only want to play PvE. But then you get the people that only want to play PvE, and then they're like, you know what? Let me try out this PvP. And then they fall in love with it. So there's that aspect too. Now, I would play it. I would play it because I love the game. I would only stay invested in it if I was able to earn like a banner or a title or something I could put and show off in PvP. That would actually make me actually want to play it a lot more. Did we just lose Steve?
We lost Steve again.
But yeah, I would play it a lot more if there was stuff that I could unlock. But I totally agree with you. There's definitely a huge market for this, and it would be really fun. And I think a lot of people would enjoy it and get a lot out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it makes me think of zombies, right? Is like a lot of people play Call of Duty. Call of Duty has a large player base, to be fair, but there are people who are just die-hard zombie fans. But, whenever you play zombies and you get, rewards or unlocks for it, and they bring it into PvP, people are like, oh, that's cool. Like, this person's a zombies fan. That's definitely a big thing in Destiny. In Destiny, I'm a PvE player, but I love cracking some heads in PvP. And whenever I get a kill, they get to see my stuff that I've done in Destiny 2 as like a raider, someone that goes out and does raids, somebody that goes out and does a ton of strikes, somebody that has all of the PvE content. I've got it all, and I'm going to show that off. I don't, I'm not out here trying to be the best PvP player. And you're going to see that kind of work there. So I'm excited to see this come out, hopefully as a PvE limited time mode, especially to get a little bit more lore. I think if we're going to see new characters, how much? It was 8 characters, right? We're 8 characters a year?
That's what they said, yeah.
Yeah, if it's 8 characters a year, we can probably say that it's 2 per season. And there are some seasons that just don't have a lot going on. The winter seasons, it's pretty busy, right? Yeah, October, November, December. You've got Halloween, you've got Thanksgiving, you've got Christmas, and most of the time they do, Halloween and they do Christmas events, right? And then, but then, you go into some of these other days and it's like, well, there's nothing really going on, and that's when you can do just like Overwatch does. They're like, oh, we've got this new mode. It's PvE focused. Have some fun with it. Learn more lore, and you have a good time there. So I think I'd love to see it. Yeah,
I do enjoy the lore. Like when I play Rainbow Six, they got bios for every one of them, and I've read all of them, and it's really interesting. And I love to learn more about the character that I like to play. Is he back now?
Yeah, I am back. Sorry about that, guys. Unexpected stuff going on. I had to restart my internet.
All good. So, I do want the lore because I would really enjoy reading all those bios, and just because that kind of makes me fall in love with the character too. If I can kind of relate to him or her, you know, in some kind of way. So yeah, I would like to see the lore. Steven, I don't know. Did you hear everything, or what?
I heard most of. It went out right when you started talking, so I missed everything you said. But.
I'm not going to go over everything I said. But what are your thoughts, I guess, on the PvE mode and possible lore for bios on characters and everything?
Okay, so I'm kind of like I'm with and against Chain in a way. So I do think it's very possible that they go with the Overwatch model, where they give us some lore and PvE in a limited time mode, and then it goes away, and then they bring episode 2 later in a limited time mode. Right? That's what Overwatch did, right?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, I never participated in those, but not because I didn't want to, just because I wasn't playing Overwatch when they happened. But those were cool. But so if they go that route, I could see them doing it that way. But I think they're going to go more of the route of like what you said, Sean, with Gears of War. What was that mode called?
Horde.
I think they're going more Horde, or like if we get really lucky, they go so deep. They go so deep with the mode that maybe it's kind of like our version of Call of Duty Zombies with Rogue Company. Like who knows? There could be perk systems, secret Easter eggs, like all kinds of stuff, and it could just be a wave-based mode. Who can hit the most waves? I'm leaning towards more of that. I think it is going to be permanent. For those PvE fans, just like Siege had the terrorist hunt, I think it's going to be a permanent mode that's wave-based. Because based on the leaks, there's different classes of these jackals. There's ammo boxes where you replenish your ammo. There's loadout benches where you change out your loadout.
I believe there's even a leak. I believe there's even a leak that says waves in it.
Yeah, I think there is.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a wave-based mode that is either infinite, or maybe there is a way to win and they'll release new levels.
Oh, right here. I'm being dumb. It says it right on my screen. PvE heavy wave is. If you guys read that up there.
In the data mined like files, it actually has both. It has wave and it has objective. So from what people are thinking is that it'll be waves, but there will be an objective in that wave. So like, for example, it might say like, like hack this thing, but there's a bunch of people coming in. So you might have like an anvil set up something, you might have a trench set up something, and then you might have somebody run to the objective and hack it and then have to finish the wave still, like something like that. Which I played Horde mode a little, but that definitely was the case in Uncharted, where they would sometimes put objectives out there to make the game just more, fun than just kill a bunch of enemies. But I haven't played zombies in a while. I know Rucker, so I know you missed it, Steve. Rucker actually, I had mentioned zombies. Rucker and I were talking about zombies. So we said the same thing. We were saying it's possible. My minimum is I want to see it as a limited time mode, but I'd love to see it as like a zombie style thing. I have not played zombies in a long time, so I'm wondering, for you guys Call of Duty fans, what does it have objectives and stuff in it?
Sean would be that. I would let Sean take over on this. Sean, I played zombies a long time ago. I played it with World at War and stuff. Sean's
same. That's the last time I played it.
So
it was good.
I haven't really dove into the latest zombies at all. Now the Cold War zombies coming out, I will be diving into that a lot because that looks really cool.
It does look really good.
But for the most part, there's like an indirect objective. There's like Easter eggs, they say. So you basically you do these things to kind of figure out the lore and the story of zombies, but you don't necessarily have to do that you can never win. The waves are like endless. So
except for the new one,
you're
right?
going,
the new one you can actually win now.
Yeah, the new one you can actually extract from a helicopter at some point. Not sure how they're going to do that.
That's cool.
But that's all the other zombies. You would play. You could be on round the gazillion and you're still playing. Typically, what people do is they'll get to level 100 and they quote unquote, they beat it, and they'll just have everybody have the zombies kill them and move on. That's typically what happens, and that takes a long time. It's like a 4-hour grind to get to 100 waves of zombies.
Did people start, since it didn't end, did people start doing that to where like they'd end at round 100, and then people would compare their stats after 100 rounds to see who was better.
I don't know.
Did people start?
I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure they did.
You never make it that far? Were you not that good?
No, like I said, I don't really play zombies now. This new zombies looks really cool. I will be playing. And then I want to mention what Steven mentioned about how Call of Duty Zombies does like a perk system. So Chain, if you're not familiar, they'll have like vending machines, I guess you could say, around the map. And for X amount of money, you can go buy like Quick Revive or Juggernaut, which lets you take more hits from zombies. I don't think they'll do that. I think if RoCo has his PvE and is kind of wave zombie based like this, I think they'll have a buy zone, kind of how it is in like the shooting range, and after each wave you can run to that buy zone with whatever money you got collected from getting headshots on the jackals or how many kills you got, and then you'll be able to buy that rogue specific perk.
Yeah, like I said, it leaked. There's gonna be like a loadout area or a loadout bench of some sort. Probably that's where you buy. You'll probably go to that bench and it will literally be the same thing in PvP. It'll pull up that green interface with all the you're probably right about that, Rucker. I'm just hoping. I don't know. I'm just hoping they add that magic that made Call of Duty Zombies so addicting to keep going, especially if Incursion. That's what I don't know. Did we already say what the name is going to be?
Incursion. Yep.
Incursion. When it comes out, my guess, and especially based off what the leaks are saying, it's going to be wave-based. And most games that are wave-based don't have a last wave. The whole point is how many waves can you get through.
I wouldn't say most games.
Okay,
I think
I don't play a lot of wave.
There are a lot of games. Sorry, I just to put in a little bit of context. Like Uncharted's survival mode has a maximum amount, usually like with like some sort of like boss. I would say like Left 4 Dead, the vast majority of the games, it was like except the last level. The last level was unbeatable. Now it is actually with this new update. So there's like and I would say I think Left 4 Dead is what made a lot of these games say, I think we need to add PvE, right? I think which is funny because originally it was a lot of it was PvE. I don't know if you guys know, but Left 4 Dead actually has a brand new update. It's called the Last Stand update.
I don't know what it has,
if you guys ever want to play, RoCo Radio might need to do a little quick stream. But I'm just saying, like, I think back in the day, it used to be like, oh, well, we have a lot of PvE games, and then they added in PvP, right? Because we didn't have the internet and stuff like that, right? So we just played, like Halo, by ourselves. You and your friends got together, you 1v1'd each other, whatever. But now it's opposite. You've got games. Even Fortnite started out PvE, right? PvE Fortnite, which was then called Save the World, and then they got rid of it. But it started with PvE. So it's interesting now to see PvP be the forefront of things, and then add in these like smaller PvE stuff. And again, we'll see. We haven't seen it happen. And I didn't mean to take over your whole thing, Steve, but just one of the things I just wanted to mention was that
I definitely want to be called out when I'm saying something wrong.
Yeah, a lot of these games, and there's in one of the leaks, they mention this game mode has an A, B, and C objective that you have to hold. It has 5 waves of enemies, B has 6 waves of enemies, and C at the most has 7 waves of enemies. And that's just from parsing some of this information and seeing how it might fit together. And then there's a difference between there are 3 different variants of bots with multiple difficulty levels: light assault, long range, mid range. So they did a lot of work on this game mode, right?
I forgot that the last wave or the last objective has a specific amount of waves. That might be the final wave there. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
Or you beat that and then I don't know, maybe it keeps repeating itself.
Can I bring up one more thing?
Yeah,
sure.
I can't remember. Steve, I think you have a PS4, right?
Yeah, I have PS4 home.
Have you played Ghost of Tsushima?
No, I haven't.
So this is the opposite. This is the opposite way. Ghost of Tsushima, incredible PvE game. They just recently added PvE, but multiplayer. And what they did is they kind of went like a Destiny model where you play the game. They have these little missions or like strikes in Destiny, and you play the mission, but you can play it again at harder difficulties, 2 harder difficulties for better loot. Now it's a loot driven experience. Now, I would hope this game wouldn't necessarily do a loot-driven experience. Rucker mentioned when you had cut out is that he would play if they had, rewards for maybe playing it. So, for example, maybe let's say they had like 3 missions, 3 mission types or whatever. Then you could play them, and then there were 3 different difficulties, and each one would give you something different. So maybe on easy, you'd get a border. On medium, you'd get the banner, and then on hard, you'd get an actual avatar, right? And for all of them, and then obviously you could come back and beat them for just your better score and stuff like that. They could do limited time modes, where they change it up. Halloween, we've got stuff, but that could be something that I would be super interested in playing, and still has replayability for those that are interested, just like PvP does.
Yeah. And to kind of touch on that, that's a good point. It made me think of this. So Fortnite kind of, if you play the Save the World, it'll give you what their currency in the game is called V-Bucks. And you can buy skins and for your guns and for your characters and sprays and everything with those V-Bucks. And if you play Save the World, you get V-Bucks every time you play it. So they could add, I think they'll definitely have reputation that you could definitely earn in PvE, and you could use that obviously in the shop. I think it'd be really cool if they had add like, I don't know, maybe like 200 coins if you played for like a month, or just something to give you like the actual like real money currency. That would be cool because V-Bucks are real money. You spent real money to get the V-Bucks from Fortnite, and they would give those away in Save the World. Obviously, much bigger game, much different game, but I think it'd be cool if they added the currency, for PvE. I would play it. I'd play for it would have to be faster than PvP, right? Because then I'm just gonna play PvP.
I guess it would have to be faster for you, but not for the people that like PvE, right? I think it could be synonymous. Like if a game, I think it'd be easy to figure out what the average is anyway. Like if an average game gives you X amount of rep, you could just say, well, double it if that game is twice as long or something. But PvE is also easier to grind, but it doesn't. I think it depends, right? I don't think you would want to be able to get everything. We already know you can't get particular things with reputation, but I think overall, like, as long as you limit how much you could get. I mean, I think an easy way to solve this is the battle pass.
Yep.
So if you added, for example, in Paladins, the battle pass has like quests that you can do in it. And then if you do those, you get more experience to your battle pass. And so they could do something where some of the quests are PvE focused. And so you had to play, just a small amount of PvE to be able to, or maybe not a small amount of PvE, maybe a medium amount of PvE to get some of this stuff, which again it's more rewards, but it doesn't have to be baked into the mode. It can be baked into the battle pass instead.
Yeah, I was actually about to say maybe they'll do weekly or even daily, because they do daily challenges for PvP right now. If you're on the main menu, there's 3 tabs on your bottom left, and they are challenges of the day for PvP.
Right.
And they give you reputation points, which now are a lot more valuable than they were back when we started playing. Now you can use them on new banners or emblems or sprays in the shop. I've yet to see a skin you can buy with it. They probably won't ever change that. Skins will probably always
hopefully recolors.
Yeah, recolors are kind of
stupid.
Yeah, that's just filler. So yeah, that'd be cool if they did, or even, like you said, challenges for the battle pass. Do you guys think weekly or daily would be better, at least when it comes to PvE? PvP is easy because I honestly almost always knock out all 3 PvP challenges each day without even reading them, because you just play, and usually they're not very specific challenges. It's like win 3 games or whatever. What do you guys think would work better for PvE? Do you think daily would work better, or like some cool weekly ones?
I don't know. I guess it depends on the mode, really, and because if it's a really long, like let's say there's 50 waves and it's going to take you like an hour or 2 to get through, then I think it should just be like, the challenge should just be, okay, play to like wave 30 or something. I don't know. It's tough to say without playing it really what the challenges would be or are. It might just be like, hey, go play 3 matches of PvE, and then the problem with that is you could just jump in, back out, jump in, back out, jump in, back out. So is there going to be a penalty if you back out, if you're playing? I don't know.
I mean, it sounds like it would be 18 waves, I believe. 18 waves in total, with the 3 objectives, and then 5 waves, 6 waves, 7 waves. It sounds like that's 18. I hope I'm doing my math right there. And obviously each one would be a little bit harder and a little bit longer. And I think like overall, like that would be, I think again, it just depends on the time, but I think even the Destiny model of daily, so Destiny has weekly and daily bounties,
right?
But I think which would basically be that same thing, like little quests or whatever. And so I think doing daily ones is fine, and I think putting weekly things or just longer term goals in the battle pass is the way to go, because at some point, right, we're not going to play for anything except the battle pass. I mean, sure, we'll play ranked, but like we're not playing for. We're gonna master all the characters, like especially right now, dude. What level are you guys?
70.
What about
maybe high 60,
you,
but definitely.
I think I'm like 77.
So I'm almost 60. So I mean, I play about 2 hours a day, and then on the weekends I actually try and play other games, trying to beat my catalog. I've seen people level like 200.
Yeah,
I play like 4 hours on Monday, Wednesday, Friday for the stream, and then work on content in between. So yeah, I can't hit those 200 level.
Yeah, like there are people who are grinding this game out. They're done. They're done.
Yeah, like, maybe if I didn't have anything else going on, I'd be able to do that.
But what's crazy is, right, like I if anything, I feel kind of fortunate. Like by the time more stuff rolls out, we're still going to be like leveling up, having fun with the game. These guys have 200 hours and they mastered everything. New mastery rewards come out, they got them already. It's over. They're like,
Scott's already got everyone. I think Rogue level 5.
Yeah, and that's not even that like that. Honestly, like that's impressive, but it's not as impressive as some of these like 200 level people who just have like they're like, I have every single rogue mastered already, and I had them mastered before the mastery rewards came out, and you're just like,
especially the people that are lucky enough to be able to live off streaming this game for an 8-hour schedule during the day, like a full-time job, and they get 40 hours in a week. Those people are level. I haven't seen any level 300s yet. But I have seen people coming to the 200 mark,
and that's why I mentioned
crazy.
like at some point it's battle pass. That's what we're playing for. I play paladins. All I play for is the battle pass. I log on, play some paladins, do my dailies, do my weekly, well, not my weeklies, but do my dailies, go in, look at what I have. And you know what? I'll actually to help the Rogue Company audience, I'll make a paladins video explaining the battle pass. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I honestly think it's going to be very similar. I can show you guys what like some of the skins and stuff look like, the difference, and maybe that will help. And I think it'll help you guys too to see what games. I could show some Smite stuff too, but I think Paladins is actually a very close. Paladins is literally like Overwatch, and so I think you'll see the similarities there, where you're like, oh yeah, I mean it's right. It's 4v4. If I remember correctly. Actually, it's 5v5, I think, if I remember correctly. But either way, it's not 4v4. But it's a similar thing. No PvE at this point in time. And I just think you're going to see some similarities there. And at some point, you just start focusing on Battle Pass and ranked if you're a ranked player.
Yeah, I remember in Siege, before they had Battle Passes, I will admit, and this might be only for people, this might not be for most of the players on Siege, but for me personally, I was able to happily play that game almost every night just to try to get that rank just a little higher, hit the next tier. Everyone's on that race to plat and diamond. I was grueling at gold a lot on that game, but I came into that game late, and there's some crazy,
it's hard, man.
Crazy players on that now, which I'm hoping I got into this game so early that I can be one of those crazy players years from now, like they are today. But that ranked honestly kept me in. But Battle Passes definitely, if not only make people that still play with just for ranked have more fun, like myself. Like when Siege brought Battle Passes in, it was just a blast because now I have stuff I'm unlocking. You instantly go to the end and see, okay, what's the last reward? What's the big cool last reward? So if not just for people like me that are playing it anyway, but get a little bonus, there's definitely plenty of people in the Siege community that I know came back to beat the Battle Pass, and then they went on their way and said, let me know when the next one's out.
And let's be honest, like the average player is casual, right?
Yeah.
The average player of any game, except games that are too small, right? So really, really small games, the player base isn't casual. They're all hardcore because they scared everybody else away. But like big games, like Fortnite, right? Like maybe not like Siege has a pretty high barrier to entry. Siege is like a little scary, but Call of Duty, Warzone, right? Like these big, really big games, Overwatch. The casual player is like, they come in, hey, want to play some Overwatch? Yeah, sure, man. Come on, let's go. Maybe they'll play ranked, but a lot of the time they're just playing casual. They're just trying to get skins. They're just trying to have fun. I actually think it's unfortunate for Overwatch that they never really like pushed a big battle pass thing because they missed, I think, a lot of that hype. But Apex is a great example. Apex, they had I mean, yes, you have people that grind ranked, but what do you think happens to the average player who's tired of trying so hard? They just want to win stuff. They just want to get stuff. That's what we all started playing games for in the first place, right? Like there's a handful of us that played maybe for, winning, right? But before that, before we even had like online multiplayer and stuff, we played games just to win stuff in the game, to unlock things, to look cool at the end, to have all the stuff. And we were all out here flexing. Running around with your box skin, flexing all that stuff.
Yeah,
of course, that's the whole point at the end of the day. So,
the
average
Apex,
player,
I think Apex is a both great and bad example. Great example in the fact that they were able to push out those battle passes so early in the game's lifespan. But we talked about this in our prior episode. I don't know if it ever changed. I haven't played in a long time, but the battle passes in the beginning, at least for season 1 and 2, they were not rewarding enough. I did not have an urge to complete them. One, because they took and you talked about being worried about this 2 chain because of, I think it was Paladins that you referred to. Apex's battle passes took way too long to complete. And on top of that, most of the rewards, like I remember season 1 and 2, I looked at the rewards and I was like, wow, the only reward I want is the last one. And even still, it's not that great. I think it was like an animated skin for one of the guns.
I remember that. Actually, they were pretty cool.
Yeah, they were pretty cool, but it was like
pretty cool.
The only cool reward is the last one that takes forever to get to, and then once I get it, I can only use it on one gun. I
think it's pretty different now, though. I do just like that was their first one. I remember people complaining about it pretty hard. I use Apex as an example because it's PvP, pretty much only, except like I think they did like small things here and there with PvE. Paladins, though, they've had 14 plus battle passes, and they take forever, but it's the only reason I play, man. It's the only reason I play. And
to kind of touch on the Apex thing, I don't really care what it's like now. Just to touch, I left that game because the battle pass sucked, and I don't want that to happen to Rogue. So that's kind of why I at least bring it up, because they need to hit the ground running on this battle pass. Otherwise, those casual people, like I was in Apex, are just gonna leave. So
you and I left before ranked came to Apex, and that might have kept us around.
True, but I was playing like tournaments in Apex and stuff a little bit. Like I was playing competitively a little bit, but then I saw the battle pass and I was like, "What, bro? Like, no." What'd you say, Chain? I missed it.
What do you guys think, Rucker? You mentioned in particular, you're like it sucked, which I agree, by the way. I think everybody agrees, like wholeheartedly. Everybody's like, "Yep, first battle pass was bad." But what do you guys think is needed? So Rogue Company battle pass announced. Everyone's like, "Oh, hype! We're so excited for this." What are like the top 3, if not more, things that you need in a really, really great battle pass? Obviously you guys are both ranked players, to be clear. So if anybody's listening to this and they're not like big ranked folks and they got excited about the PvE stuff, you know what I mean? Like not just because you guys are ranked, but imagine like ranked still doesn't come out or whatever. What hooks you in with a battle pass for Rogue Company?
I got you.
You
don't have to hold on, Rucker. I got this.
I was talking before all that, but go ahead.
You know what? Go ahead, Rucker. Since you're
I refuse.
Good.
They're brothers, by the way.
What I was gonna say with Chain is one, and this is something Siege did. I'm sure other games have done it, but it was most noticeable in Siege. For the make a free and paid tier.
Yeah.
Don't let the free people not get anything. That's going to piss people off. Don't do that. Yeah, I don't expect them to. So that's number 1. It's pretty obvious, but some games don't do that. Some games
that's true. You never know.
2, give the paid battle pass users something off the bat. Siege did this. So if you didn't get, if you got it for free, you would still get rewards every so often. And then, as you know, the paid versions would give you a bunch of stuff in those empty gaps, along with the stuff that the free people are getting. But what Siege did was, if you did the paid version, right off the bat, you got 1 or 2 super cool skins for operators without getting any battle pass points. Just thank you for paying for the premium version of the battle pass. Here's some cool skins to throw on your guns or characters. So that's number 2. I think that would be a great addition. This would not only incentivize people to jump onto the paid version, but now they paid for it and they want to get all those credits, which is number 3. Number 3 is put credits within the battle pass and make enough of them to where if people save up the credits to get from one battle pass and don't spend them anywhere else, they can use them to recycle and get the next battle pass. And now you have people, granted, yes, you're not, the high res wouldn't be getting money from those purchases since they're using the money they earned on their first purchase. But this gets people that don't want to pay every time there's a battle pass to stay in that content, which gets them to play more, which in turn they'll probably buy a skin or two in the store. And if not, they're at least telling their friends about this awesome game they play all the time. So yeah, so to summarize that up, one, what was number one?
Free and paid.
Right. Free paid. 2, bonus items for people that do pay right off the bat. And 3, give them enough currency to buy the next one. And then I guess there is a 4th if you want to count, make the content actually worth it and not crap like Call of Duty's battle passes that give you the dumbest sprays and charms imaginable.
Yeah. So,
what do you think, Rucker?
So my top 3, I only shared really one common interest with Steve there. It was give me the credits back. If it's 1,000 for the battle pass, I want 1,000. I want 1,000 coins if I complete the whole thing, so I can buy the next one. That's number 1. Number 2, it needs to have a really cool skin and a really cool weapon skin. So a really cool rogue skin, really cool weapon skin at the very end of the tiers. That has to be there. If it's just a spray, an emote, and like a secondary skin, terrible. It has to be a primary weapon skin, and it has to be a rogue.
He's got specifications for it now.
I mean,
his voice got. He was like, I need to have an awesome skin, and I need it at the bottom.
That's a good point, Sean, because you want people to stay in because they want that last reward.
Because if there's like a uncommon primary wrap halfway through, and at the very end all I get is a spray and an emote, I'm not completing the thing. I don't care. So
yeah, I would say that's just as important, if not more important, than what I said with the beginning reward for the paid users.
I was actually going to go to that because that reminded me. The third thing, I guess, give me something off the rip. Fortnite did a really good job. Off the rip, you would get like you get one skin. Now everybody knows that you bought the battle pass, and you kind of flex on them a little bit. And you
get the evolving skin, which was cool.
Yeah, and then you would get so what they would do like an astronaut in like an orange suit, right? And you would get him white helmet, orange suit at the very beginning.
I remember.
At the very end, you got him in a blacked out suit with like neon orange like lines, kind of like what's on my shirt here, but these were neon orange. So that was pretty cool. I don't know if they probably won't go that route because I wouldn't want to see like, okay, there's this cool glitch skin at the very end. I get a really cool glitch skin. I kind of want some variety because I bounce around and play different rogues. So I think that's really the 3 things. Give me something off the rip that's cool. Give me something at the very end that's super cool. And then give me my money back.
So we line up, Sean. The only thing that you mentioned that was different from mine is something that I totally agree with. The last reward needs to be worth it. And I agree that also the evolving skins idea that I first saw in Fortnite, which I thought was a really cool idea, that probably would only work for games where you don't have where you are just your own avatar. It wouldn't work for games where you're different characters, because if they have an evolving skin for a rogue that most people don't like, then most people might not buy the battle pass. So.
Yeah, I think they could go that road if they could go that route if they had maybe 2 rogues, right? And they would probably start with like a popular rogue for the first battle pass and then stuff. But yeah,
and the first award can't be as cool, or it can't be cooler than the last reward, because then everyone just buys it and leaves. You need something really cool then.
I've got good news for both of you guys. If they follow anything like the Paladins one, the Paladins, the way that they do the battle pass is they have 4 skins.
Ooh.
They're all, I think, very well made. And then they also have 4 more skins that are recolors of those like really cool skins.
Dang.
So like a good example is they might have like a normal soldier dude. So for example, there is one. His name's Victor, and he's just literally just a soldier guy. And for like Halloween, they made him a werewolf. And he was like a blue werewolf creature thing. And then they had a recolor on that made him like a jet black werewolf, as an example. I don't think they actually had that one, but as an example. So it's like they put out a good amount of skins. There's a lot of them. They always give you one off the bat, so that's good. They always have one at the end, and usually it's like one of the really, really cool looking recolors. So like it might be like extra, I don't know, like might have like, I don't know, just might look really, really cool. They don't usually do separate gun skins, but this game is obviously very different. Paladins is very character focused, where Rogue Company is, but it's also a big focus on your gadgets and your gear and stuff like that. Not the case in Paladins.
And it might be better to focus on characters. It might be easier for people to see the different rogues as characters when we have more lore, and people will see more of a personality with them. I will say the voice lines in game, both the quips that you can activate yourself or the automatic ones that just happen as you do things in the game, that does at least offer some personality. I at least kind of get like a vibe, like based on sprays and emotes and voice lines on Dallas. I know he is very narcissistic and very cowboy, you know.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, I got you, buddy. Anyway, but you brought up a cool idea in my head. It would be really, I mean, would you guys agree that'd be really cool if they did holiday battle passes? Like, I don't think they'll do, I think it's too soon for this Halloween, but like, just for example, Halloween battle pass? No. I mean,
no, I'm shaking my head. No.
Okay.
The reason I say this is because battle passes are usually about 3-4 months.
Yeah.
So I think it's usually 3 months.
I'm used to, maybe, is that in Paladins?
It's definitely in Paladins, but in a lot of these games, I know this is the same thing for Destiny. I thought Warzone was actually pretty similar too. I thought it was like
Warzone was
3 months.
Fortnite's similar as well.
I forget what Siege was. I thought Siege was shorter than that.
No, I think what they'll do, Steve, is they'll just throw those holiday skins in the store. Like that's what Fortnite did. Fortnite would put like pumpkin heads in the store, and then they'd put like an elf in the store and stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say after I got done saying all that, I was gonna say probably those things are going in the store. Not only because
they're money makers.
Well, yeah, that was what I was gonna say. They're money makers. People during the holiday season will spend way more than they would any other time of the month to have a Christmas tree character or an elf character
or a Dr. Disrespect costume.
Okay, hey, we're not talking about
that. I did want to mention. So one of the things I would definitely want to see is themed battle passes. So Apex, I know, did it after. I think they've always done it. Their first one was garbage, but their later ones were actually pretty cool. It was literally trash can. It was like, okay, we got aluminum skins, we've got paper, recyclable. But the Paladins ones I think are great. They're awesome. Honestly, they've been very, very good. And one thing that the game Rogue Company has not shied away from is just being bombastic. It just like completely just like changing like the way that a character looks. The one that I want to mention is the Dima skin, right? The Dima skin that we got from Twitch Prime, which is now called Prime Gaming, which I think is still available. So if you guys haven't gotten that skin yet, it's a heist skin. It looks like Payday 2. It looks like Payday 2. It looks like a Grand Theft Auto 5, kind of like, you know, you're going on a heist. But
it does look like a lot like Grand Theft Auto 5, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's very. I was playing it. Somebody was like, "Yo, why does that character look like you're from Payday?" And I was like, "Yeah." But then somebody else was like, "Oh, like Grand Theft Auto 5 is third person, all that stuff." It looks very cool. It is obviously the voice lines are completely different. Paladins always does this when they have a new skin. The voice actor is completely different, so they will break the fourth wall easily. They will completely shatter the idea that this game has linear lore. They'll just be like, Demon's now a bank robber. Oh yeah. He'll be like, I rezzed somebody the other day, and he was like, "Give me all your money, or give me your wallet." Like while I'm like rezzing them, I'm like, "What the heck, dude? Like that's so good."
I helped you, you helped me. That's what he's saying. I rezzed you, give me some money.
I love it.
I didn't know that. I thought this was the first time it happened, but when I got the Dr. Disrespect skin for Dallas, I was like, "Whoa! Like it's not Dallas anymore." He started talking. I was like, they recorded Dr. Disrespect recorded voice lines for the game.
Yep.
So, yeah, that I mean, Dallas and Dima are great examples of. I mean, they made Dallas. It's not even Dallas. It's Dr. Dish. It's not. It's not a costume. It's a different person. So they don't care anymore. But at the end of the day, these people are just going to turn into names and abilities. They're not going to.
That makes me really, really excited because the next battle pass, if they follow a similar style, let's say we get 4 skins with another 4 recolors, right? I'm saying, like, let's say we get I don't know, let's say they give us a space like a space like thing, like where everybody's got like, you know, cool like spacesuit looking things, or like Star Wars looking thing. Like that'd be sick, right? They definitely have that for paladins. They have like some like lightsaber characters and things like that. Like with the skins, I mean, and they sound completely different. They actually have like a Darth Vader looking character who like talks like that. He'll be like, I'm going to kill you today. Like they do that. So like imagine you're playing like Ronin, and now Ronin is like, you know, has like a lightsaber, and like, you know, everybody looks like totally different. For me, I love that kind of content. I really hope to see that. I hope the theme's really good. I hope that even like the announcers and stuff, they like change the announcer packs and stuff. So anyway,
the announcer on the arena is different.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So I hope. And then the last thing I want to say about Battle Pass, and then I think this is going to be my last part on it. I just as a reminder, youtube.com/Chaingear Gaming. I'm definitely going to do a video where I go over Paladins so people can see what it looks like, and what they might be able to expect and kind of get ready for it. The last thing I was going to mention, well, I'll also quickly mention the event thing. I think most games do like holiday events instead of putting it into the Battle Pass, like Rucker said. And like you said, Steve, it's for the money, man. Like, you know, they'll do a Christmas one, and they'll just be like, okay, here it is. And I know that Paladins does that too. But the other thing is, oh, me too. What is the price for the Battle Pass that you guys are willing to pay, or that not willing? I mean, come on, we're willing to pay a lot. But what do you guys want it to be? Dockskin. So what do you guys want the price to be?
Well, here's what I got to think about in my head. I need to take myself out of it, because since I make content for this game, they can be pretty steep with me. I won't be happy about it, but they can be pretty steep with me, and I'll feel like I have to, because I want to be able to show off the content, whether it's background gameplay in my YouTube videos, or I'm streaming and people are like, whoa, what's that skin? You know, I want people to be involved. So if I just have the stock skins and stock voice, like, it's just going to get boring. So I'm going to buy this stuff regardless. But from a consumer viewpoint, if I was just playing the game, I didn't make content for it, I enjoyed it, I played with my friends, whatever, I would think 20 max, 15 a sweet middle point. I think 15 is a good price point for this. I think 20 would be a bit much, but no more than 20. If it goes above 20, I think that's too much.
I don't think it's going to go above 20.
You want to pay $80 a year for this game?
Huh?
I mean, if every 3 months spending $20, if the content inside the Battle Pass is good enough, I would. But from, like I said, that would be the steepest. I'm saying if I was a consumer, 15, 10. $10 to $15, I think that's where they should stay. I really think they're going to lose a lot of people if they go 20.
Here's where I got you, all right? Mark my word, okay? Remember this day and what I say. I'm going out on a limb here, okay? Just with experience with other games. I think it's going to be $1,200. It's going to be $12. And here's why it's not $1,000. So the people don't go and just buy the $10 coin pack and get it. $1,200, they got to buy the second one. So now they spend the $1,200 on the Battle Pass, and then they got extra coins that they're going to spend in the store.
Yep.
And
good point.
More likely than not, if they just upgrade to the second time, they're not going to have enough for a legendary skin. So they're going to want to use the coins that they earn in the Battle Pass to buy that legendary skin. And oh wait, now they only got 600 when the new pass comes out. Oh, bro, well now they got to buy another set of coins. So 1,200 is what it's going to be. I think that's exactly what it's going to be. 1,200.
Let me put this out there. I think you are 100% correct.
Let's go.
Yeah,
I think you are 100% correct. So Paladins, it is different currency. They have crystals, different currency, obviously, and it's 600 to buy the Battle Pass. It's 600 to buy the Battle Pass, and 600 crystals. There is no way to buy 600 crystals unless you buy 200 and 400. Classic, right? You buy 200 crystals and you buy 400. The next, it goes 2, 4, and then 8. So you can't get it unless you buy 8. 8 is $15. But you could also just buy the straight 600, but then you're paying $8 for 400 crystals, and you're buying $5 worth of crystals for the 200. That's way more, right? It's not worth it. So you're like, okay, it's not way more, but it's more in the sense of how much you're paying for how many crystals you're getting. So you're like, oh, man, I just gotta get the 800 crystals, right? I mean, I might as well. It's good value. Yep. So you go and you buy the 800 crystals. Same exact thing. That is 100% is what's going to happen. Obviously, again, different values here. Rucker, 100% with you. I'm actually okay with that value.
Yeah,
I think
too.
about this all the time. I think about how much money am I going to spend on a game. To be fair, I'm not the average person, but I think the average person, like you said, Steve, like, you know, we're going to buy all this crap. But like for the person that has, I think is like, I don't have a ton of money to spend on games every single day. You know, I already have, you know, I just bought, think about this. Next, like whatever the battle pass comes out, people are going to be buying PlayStation 5s. They're going to be upgrading their PCs. They're going to be getting Xbox Series X's or whatever. They're going to be buying Cyberpunk. They're going to be buying the new Call of Duty. There's all these games out. Like, you have to think about, like, oh, how much money am I going to spend? When it starts to get close to $60, that's when it starts to get a little weird. Now, people don't usually do the math that way, but a lot of people will think about that. The other thing is, are they going to have a season pass? So they're going to have a pass that allows you to get all the battle passes. Now, they did have this. They did have this in Paladins. They got rid of it. So I think too many people were buying that and realizing the value in it. And I don't think they like that. I think one of the things that we were seeing is that it took too long for people to beat it. And people weren't buying the rest of the battle pass because they were like, well, I don't really have to. I don't really care. I don't need to make my money back. I already bought them all. I would like to see a season pass. I'm down. I'll buy it. I don't care. I want to play this game. I'm down to play the game. I'm going to buy a bunch of extra skins. I don't want to keep buying all these like battle passes. Just let me get all my stuff and let me get it now. They have season passes, but they don't do the same thing anymore. Now they like give you a bunch of crystals and they give you like some special skins and stuff like that. But anyway, I just wanted to know what you guys thought about the money. And the only other part of that is the games that you guys play that have battle passes. Do they have that thing where they're like, well, pay us a little bit more and you guys will unlock the first 30 levels of the battle pass?
Yeah,
you guys,
I didn't think about that. Yeah,
I never buy it though because I grind it so much, so I never buy that one.
I never buy that either, Sean.
So you guys are abnormal. Somebody that like beats the entire battle pass, that literally is not normal. That kind of stuff is aspirational content. So you are the guys that are out there flexing these really cool weapons that makes, like, you know, the people that don't play that much buy that weapon. Right. So Rucker, you buy the battle pass, you beat the battle pass, which means you got your value back, which means you're not paying for the next battle pass. But because you beat this other guy, that guy's going to go, holy crap, I need that skin. That guy's so good. That skin looks so good. So it was worth the money for you not to have to buy the next battle pass because they're going to spend $100 to finish their battle pass, just to finish it. Yeah. To finish a battle pass in Paladins, it costs a ton of money. Like each level costs like 5 crystals, which doesn't sound like a lot, or 10 crystals, which doesn't sound like a lot, but 10 levels is 100 crystals. And if there's 120 levels, which is how much there are in Paladins battle passes currently, you put up a lot of money.
Yeah. I know for Rucker and I, especially with the Rogue Company, since that's our main game, there's not really going to be a good reason for us to buy it unless we want to be the people that have it first. It does give you a good boost, even if you know you're going to beat it. If you want to pay that extra, not only to support a game that you love, but also to be able to be one of the first people on the battlefield with that cosmetic gun skin or rogue outfit, then and all power to people do that. I usually don't, most likely because I'm about to spend money next week in the store anyway. And what I was going to say was, do you guys think and we'll end it after this topic because we're running a little long here, but do you think they might do a year pass starting next year? Game's going to be officially out by the end of the year. They'll do a year pass. Okay, hear me out here, Chain. All right, I see you shaking your head over there. They do a year pass. You buy it. It's only like $20, $25. And what it does is it gives you a little content right when you buy it, you know, some little reward, some little skin or some little thing saying, hey, I have the year pass, maybe an emblem, maybe a gold, whatever. Now they're saying they're releasing 8 rogues a year. If you have the year pass, you get them as they come out. You don't have to pay for them. And then you get them early, possibly. Maybe you get them a week early, and then other people can't buy them until a week after. And there's like a week period where all the people that have the year pass play the new rogues a week early, and then they come out for everyone else to buy them with credits or whatever. And then battle passes, if you have a year pass, there's a coupon discount, 10% off. Do you think they would do all that?
I don't think they do the second part. I think they could do the rogue. You buy the season pass to get all the rogues. It would
be year pass. And what I was saying is it would be year pass. Yeah.
Yeah, for the rogues, I don't think there's going to be a discount or any kind of pass for the actual battle pass. However, I do not hope that people who get the year pass use the rogues early.
That's weird.
Yeah, I know Rainbow Six does that. I hate that model. I don't think Rogue's going to do that model because of, I can't see them doing that.
I only bring up that idea because that's what Rainbow Six Siege does.
Yeah, listen, I would buy the pass for the 8 new Rogues, and I'm not going to be mad if everybody else can buy them right when they come out as well. I think that's fair.
Now, I don't think they should, and here's why. Siege already did it, and I think they've stuck to it because they already had customers buy it year after year. They took that away. It could take a lot of players off. But since Rogue hasn't done it, they have no one to take off yet about it. Siege's problem with that model, I love everything else. I love the free operators if you have a year pass, plus they also do a discount on the battle passes, which I disagree with you there, Rucker. If they do bring year passes in for you to get the rogues for free as they come out, I don't think there's any reason they shouldn't give you 10% off on the battle passes. But that's me. Where was I? Where was I? What was I saying?
You were talking about Rainbow Six and the Rogue.
Yeah, the early. So I don't think. Yeah, I agree with you guys. Rogue companies shouldn't do that. I just was bringing that up as an idea because Siege does it. But the problem with Siege doing that is, I think inevitably ranked in Rogue Company, they're going to add some type of ban system to make it more competitive.
They are
both teams.
Yeah, they are.
But later.
Right, later. Because there's not enough rogues yet to be banning. The problem with Siege is they have a ban system that whole first week that I would have an operator early. Everyone else that didn't have the year pass that was salty about it would ban the new operators, and then no one that bought the year pass could play them early. And
so let me. I'll put my piece out there again. Paladins player here. There's a lot of information I can give you guys. The first part is that they have this. They have a champions pack. They have a season pass, and then they have the battle pass. I'll explain all three of them. The battle pass, self-explanatory. Mm-hmm. The only way to buy the battle pass is to buy the battle pass. You buy the battle pass, there's no coupons, there's no nothing. You buy a battle pass. Battle pass is there. It lasts 3 months. You play out the content, you get it, whatever, right? Outside of the battle pass, there's the season pass. The season pass is this very weird thing where you like get crystals for cheaper than you usually would, and you get like a couple skins, and it's only in that pass. And every single season, basically, like every single battle pass, you get an extra free skin that has nothing to do with that battle pass, but it's just another thing. It's kind of weird. And then you have the Champions Pack. And the Champions Pack, it unlocks all the current champions and all of the future champions, and that's it. The Champions Pack cost $30. The Season Pass costs $40. And then the Battle Passes, they cost exactly what we just said, like $10, $12, right? So it's a lot of money if you buy all of it.
Yeah.
I can see them doing... I was a little concerned, because we bought, I'm assuming all of us bought the Founders Pack for
yes.
Rogue Company.
I bought it, yes.
Company?
About Rucker.
I got the game in a drop.
Okay, but you never bought the Founders Pack afterwards.
No, I just saved up Reputation and bought all the Rogues.
So I bought the Founders Pack because I was like, let me just get all the Rogues. I don't feel like I'll save my Reputation for cosmetics. So I was like, all right, like whatever. So I got all the Rogues, but we're not getting more Rogues. I don't know if you guys saw that. We're getting the Rogues that come out like basically for the beta, which is interesting. So if we bought as far as I remember, if you bought a Founders Pack, I'm going to the website now to make sure I'm right. If you bought the Founders Pack, even if you bought the Ultimate Founders Pack, you get 6 free Rogues. You don't get more. You don't get future Rogues. You got all of the Rogues that we got before. We got Glitch, which was new at the time, and then we got the future new Rogue, which was Dahlia. We got all of our Rogues, which means when this game launches, we're going to have to buy another thing that allows us to get more Rogues. If it's 8 Rogues a year, they could easily say, buy the season pass that has the 8 Rogues in it. You don't have to worry about buying the Rogues. It costs $30. It's I don't know. Personally,
I might launch that at the beginning of next year.
So you think if they do that, you'll still be able to get the Rogues a Reputation?
you will definitely be able to get them with reputation.
Okay.
They will not lock out.
Yeah,
I haven't seen any game that has locked out a character.
That'd be pay to win at that point. If it's a really good rogue, that'd be pay to win.
It would be. It also completely degrades the competitive aspect of the game, right?
Yeah.
All the competitive players are going to have infinite, not infinite, but tons of reputation, and they can pretty much get it immediately. To counter the point that you mentioned, Steve, about how Siege, they'll have a new character, you'll have it early. They actually, in ranked, they don't allow the brand new character. They'll wait. Okay. They'll wait, and they'll say they have resets. I think they have one reset, and they'll wait for the reset to add the new character in, so everybody has time to play with them and things like that. So
that wouldn't be as bad.
Yeah,
that wouldn't be bad if you had a year pass. I don't see any reason why the people that bought a year pass could enjoy the new characters in casual and test them out and mess with them. And
I still think the early part is weird. I don't like the early part.
Yeah,
because I wouldn't mind if you can't use them in ranked.
But it doesn't. I don't think you don't want to limit. It doesn't matter if you mind it, because you're not gonna do it. You're gonna buy the new pass.
That's true.
Think about the free players, right? Which, remember, like I don't. We want free players to play. I'm gonna spend $100 on this game, but I want as many free players in this game as possible, and I don't want them. I want them to play with every character. I'm gonna flex on them with skins, all right? But like they're gonna come. I want them to play that player. If they come in and they go, "Who's this character? How come I can't get them?" It just causes confusion. People are gonna get upset. There's really no reason. But when they see I have the character immediately, they might go, oh, a new character's out. They're going to run. They're going to see if they can purchase it. They're not going to be able to, maybe because they don't have enough rep, but their friends might be able to purchase it. They all of a sudden it's aspirational content.
I can say it both ways. I can say it both ways, because it could still be aspirational content, because I'm saying all year round, you can buy that year pass if you want to. And if you buy the year pass,
but that's not aspirational. That's aspirational means you can get there. That's pay. You're talking about paying.
True.
It's aspirational.
Here's what I'm saying, though.
I
can see both sides, because people that buy, if there is a year pass, I think that's another saying thank you to all the people that bought it. So I don't really like, even back when I was playing Siege, and I didn't spend money on games as much as I do now. I didn't. When I saw people with it, it was 1 week, right? And it was a reward to give to those players that gave extra money to the game. You could buy, I know, but you could buy it. If they blocked out of ranked, it wouldn't be pay to win, especially if it's just 1 week, right?
No, but
I'd be pissed.
Sorry.
Listen,
you're talking too much about you, because you're talking about ranked.
No.
There's no.
I'm talking about all players.
Listen. You just mentioned ranked. The vast majority of casual players won't care about ranked. So they're gonna play their casual game, and they're gonna be like, I don't even know who this character is. I'm getting destroyed by this by Bulwark. I don't know who Bulwark is. Bulwark's just destroying me. I can't even see this character. I can't even buy this character right now. And then when I click it, it says you have to pay for this character. You have to pay cash for this character, or you wait. The only people that win are the people that pay, which is like that doesn't leave. I can understand why people might be happy about it for the people that pay, but everyone else will hate it.
Listen here. Let me jump in here. Let me jump in here, because I'm one of those guys that would be pissed about it, and I'm one of those guys that's not going to spend $20 to get the rogues early or at a if they're for reputation and I can buy them, I'm not going to buy that thing. I'll have the reputation. And as when it comes to this, I know I'm a competitive ranked player, but in this sense, I'm kind of casual, because if I'm playing in a match and somebody else bought this thing and has this new rogue early, I'm going to be mad, especially if that rogue's really good. So I think that is a completely stupid, idiotic idea, and that Siege does. And I don't think that this game's going to do that. And I don't know why we're spending any more time on this, because it's stupid. Steve, give it up. It's not coming. Listen. You
acting like I said it should come. I'm just saying, if you have a year pass for your players, it could be a good reward. If you have better ideas, throw them at me.
Here's your reward. Here's your reward. You get them all without spending reputation. That's your reward.
Right.
Yes, but maybe that's another incentive to buy it. I'm saying as another incentive.
You can say that, Steve. You can say that for everything. I think my point was that Rucker's reaction is why they shouldn't do it.
Yes.
If anybody's gonna get mad for an extra incentive, if the extra incentive is a week, like with the character, if they remove that incentive, how many people are not gonna buy it? Right? Like I assume, like, I'm not gonna buy it. The only people are gonna buy that are definitely gonna buy it because of the incentive are content creators.
I mean, I will say I always buy it to get them for free. I never bought it, so I had that extra week.
Exactly. And
So
Rucker and Rucker's reaction, his frustration, he's not the only one. He's not the only one, right?
I know.
And so I was proving a point.
If Rucker he hits me up and he's like, dude, do you see this? I can't even unlock this character. I don't want to pay for this. And that doesn't mean Rucker won't spend money. So you don't want to aggravate people just to add an extra incentive, because the issue there is that then the company leans towards getting more money comparatively to giving us value for the money.
And that's right. I need to get this clear for everyone listening. I'm not saying they should. Earlier we just discussed this, and I said why it didn't work, because in ranked it was annoying and people just banned it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if they don't do that, at the very least, they should apply discounts to some things like a battle pass for yearly pass owner. If your pass is a thing, I think they should have a discount.
They'll have a yearly pass, and they will not add a discount code. It would be nice, but they're not going to do it because why? But it's already
another reason to buy it.
But is it enough? But the amount,
I don't know. I don't know.
No. I'm talking about for the company. Is the amount, would enough people buy it for that incentive comparatively to not having the incentive, and those same people just buying the season pass at the maximum amount or the battle pass at the maximum price, right?
I think it depends on the quality of the battle passes.
No, these battle passes will be great. I don't want to promise you. I think these battle passes are going to be good. I think they're going to be very good. They have very good artists on their teams. They're honestly some of the best artists that I've seen. I think they're very, very good at the work that they do. But you're going to buy the battle pass. I'm going to buy the battle pass. I'm also going to buy their rogue pass or champion pass or yearly season pass to get all of the rogues, right? And I'm doing it for the same reason you're doing it for the most part. I just want all the rogues, and I'm gonna save my rep for cosmetics, because cosmetics are expensive. It costs $20 for the one skin. Like, I'd rather just buy that with rep if I can. We'll see where all that is. That's my whole other issue right now, is I don't know if I want to buy a season pass if I can't buy anything with rep anyway. If I can't buy cool stuff with my rep, then why am I ever even going to buy the rogue season pass thing? So their whole economy needs to kind of like shift around a little bit.
And we haven't seen anything with that yet. We have no idea what they're planning on that stuff.
Right. So I think we can put it to bed by saying, Steve, I think you and I are going to buy this thing, and the more incentive they give us, the better it is for us, because we're already going to buy it. Yep. But I know high res enough. They like their money, bro. They're not going to do that. They're not going to give us incentives if they don't have to. They're going to make us pay for each one of these things.
That's pretty much all businesses.
Yeah. I'm just saying in terms of the value. Like, I mentioned before, like I think they're a little like, we'll see what happens.
Wait and see. And if they do a weekly, not saying they should. I'll actually put it out here now for everyone. I do not think they should add that. I think Siege did it and didn't realize. And I think if Siege could go back, they would have never done that. Yeah. But if they do, you'll know who warned you. Okay?
They're not going to do
that. I would think if they didn't do it in Paladins, then they're not going to do it in this. So.
Yeah, they're not going to do that. That's too weird.
Yeah, and then I just want to touch on one more thing before we end it here. I think the Battle Pass will be great because their art team has no limits.
They're insane.
We've seen the doc. The voice lines have changed. Like, Chain was saying about Paladins and everything.
Beautiful.
Yeah, they're limitless. So I think it'll be great, and we kind of end the Battle Pass talk right there.
You can really predict a Battle Pass based on its art team, and even before Apex released its first Battle Pass, the store was kind of lackluster. So, do you remember that?
I also think that Battle Passes thrive more in a third-person environment as well. Because you can see your character. So I know we talked about how Apex and Call of Duties are garbage, but that's just, they can't really do as much. You don't see your character. So
Paladins isn't.
There's so many times that I would buy a new skin in Siege, and it's so disappointing sometimes because you'd buy it And then I'd go into a game and go up to my friend and be like, "Hey, do I look cool? Because I can't see myself. Do I look cool?" But yeah, third person is, Fortnite. Right off the bat, that's Fortnite is killing it, and I'm sure Epic is thriving with profit just because of those cosmetics, especially when they did the Avengers stuff. Oh my god, man. Yeah. So I think we should wrap it up there, guys. That was a hefty episode especially for a week where we barely got any news. So, which is good. I'm happy we got a lot out there. Yeah. But I think we should wrap it up there. I had a blast. If you guys don't know already, my name is SteveTheChimp. Same name under YouTube and Twitch. And then I have a Twitter, which is Chimp Steve. You guys go ahead and shout out your socials, and we'll wrap this up.
Yeah, Ruckerific on YouTube. Rucker slays everything else.
Chaingear Gaming. Find me on YouTube. Find me on Twitch. On Twitter, it's Chaingear Game. No gaming because it's too long. Chaingear Game.
Awesome. All right, we'll go ahead and wrap this up, and we'll talk to you guys next week. See you on the battlefield, Rogues.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye-bye.